Well, it's very appropriate today that I'm wearing my Batman shirt because I'm going to be talking about being a hero today. I don't mean a superhero. Yeah, what I want to talk about today is making decisions that are in the best interest of everyone. You find yourself in a moment where you find yourself having to make a decision that's going to affect the lives of other people, your children, your family, your friends, and you find yourself having to make a really difficult decision. I want to do something different in this episode. I want to share some quotes with you from a book called The Divine Law of Compensation by Marianne Williamson. Very, very beautiful book. And I'm going to read you some quotes from it that I think are perfect to go along with the story that I'm telling in this week's episode. And it guides us in to home at the end of the episode, so to speak, and the whole purpose of the story and why it is so important to make decisions and thinking about what's in the best interest of everyone, and where I'm going with in terms of the powerful lesson that's in this subject. My son is struggling to learn how to talk, and we've been married, my wife at the time and myself, about 3 or 4 years at this point. We have our own house, a cottage in Dublin, so we have our own home, and we have the situation where our son is not talking. And what are we going to do? The only barriers that exist are the barriers within your mind. Seek to remove your barriers to love, and miracles will replace them. I know when I held my son Matthew, my eldest son, for the first time, you're looking down at your child and you're thinking, wow, I'm responsible for this child, and it hits you hard, like, not in a bad way, but just like, whoa, like this life is in my hands, literally. We feel it would be arrogant to think of ourselves as God's gift to the world. Yet in fact, that's exactly who each of us is. Oh, the first year or so with Matthew was just magical. And having a child is a beautiful thing and changes your whole perspective on many things. So for it to go south, and all of a sudden we're having to deal with things that we couldn't have even imagined. Your child's not talking, you don't know why, and no one can give you an answer. And Matthew's life is in our hands, and if I don't do something now, I'm going to spend the rest of my life regretting it. This is what we're going to do. We're going to sell our house, and we're going to use the proceeds of the house to go wherever we have to go in the world to find a doctor or a school that's going to be able to tell us what's going on with Matthew and then give us a course of action. The best way to summon your true calling is to put yourself in service to God. Or if you change the wording slightly, the best way to summon your true calling is to put yourself in service to the universe. We had sold our house by ourselves without an estate agent, and so that part was done. So I did my research, and I found every school I could find that focused on speech, and then Southern California kept coming up in the search a lot. And so I found a cluster of schools in Los Angeles area. And so the plan evolved into, okay, we're going to go here to Southern California, and we're going to visit all these schools and see if we can't get an answer. We experience who we really are and what it is we're meant to do in any moment when we pour our love into the universe. And look at this place, it's magical.
And you've got that like magic hour lighting right now, twilight light, isn't it just magical?
I wouldn't be able to rest until I had found answers. I know that he needed it desperately, and I know that my wife at the time desperately wanted solutions too. So really, it was a decision that was the best decision for everyone, not just at that moment, but like 5 years from now or 10 years from now. That's big choices and big decisions that one has to make. Rushing on forward to the end of the story, Matthew is now in college in Dublin. He made a tremendous recovery. Matthew's got to take most of the credit. He got the opportunity. We found the school, but he took it, grabbed it with both hands, and he's the one that made the magic happen.
What happens when you don't just think about yourself, you think about everyone else, and what decision can I make now with the gifts and talents that I have and the magical, unique person that I am? What is the decision I will make right now that will just be the best for everyone? And then the magic that occurs when you make that choice. God will do his part when we do ours. Or the universe will do its part when we do ours. And so the thing to keep in mind is that when you're making a decision that's in the best interest of everyone, sometimes that can mean making decisions that some people would consider to be selfish. In other words, you're doing something that's in your best interest, and other people might be upset around you. But sometimes you realize that the best outcome for those people around you and for yourself is actually for you to go and do your own thing. So when you make a decision that's in the best interest of everyone, it's not, a black and white situation. My example I've given today is just one example. Look at this. Fields of gold, people. I'm walking in fields of gold. Where this is so powerful and so important is because when you're making decisions that are in the best interest of everyone, you're doing things that are in the best interest of the world, of the universe, of God. And so what you're doing is you're putting yourself in the energy that creates worlds. You put yourself in the flow, the love of the universe. You're putting yourself in the zone. You're lining up with the flow, the stream of the universe, and you're going downstream when you're making decisions that are in the best interest of yourself and of everyone else.
Following the path of love leads to trust, to deeper relationships, and therefore to a greater probability of further good.
So I want to thank you all for watching my episode again this week. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. And as you know, I have nothing but love in my heart for you. Nothing but love.